Hey everyone, it's GraphLab speaking here. In this video we're going to show you how to create a minimal song artwork with neon element. Let's get down to it. First of all, open Adobe Photoshop and create a new document. You want to have your artboard in a square ratio. In my case it's going to be 2500 by 2500 pixels. Resolution you want to go for is 72 dpi and an RGB color mode. Alright. As new document appeared on screen, let's drag and drop our background image. You can find a link to elements from this tutorial in description below. Let's scale our image so it fits artboard area. Move it a little bit as you see it. Next thing that you want to add to our project is the character image from the folder. Drag and drop the image and lower the opacity a little bit so you can see how it looks with our background while scaling it. When you have it done, let's move to the next step. Select the pen tool from your toolbar and select the character using it. I'm going to fast forward this process for you. Also don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on the notifications so you will never miss any new videos. When you got your character selected, make selection out of it by pressing a button above the artboard. Feather radius should be 0 pixels, accept the selection by pressing OK button. Now as you can see it created a selection over our character, duplicate just our character by pressing CMD and J button while having it selected. As you can see there is some background left from our original image. What you want to do here is select Magic Wand tool. And while holding shift just press few times over the R that we want to remove until it's completely selected. After you will complete selection just delete it by pressing backspace button. Repeat the process for other spaces left with background. I'm going to make our character a little bit bigger by using free transform which you turn on by pressing CMD and T button. Let's change the layer name by double-clicking text area and layer panels. To keep everything tidy in our project, I'm going to name it original character layer. Now duplicate our original layer and hide it by pressing that eye icon in layers panel. As you can see, our character looks like it's floating in the air, so we're going to remove lower parts of the legs with rubber tool and a new mask on our layer. Open brush settings by pressing Alt button, make sure you have hardness set up to 0%. Good, now let's create sort of an effect that will look like some part of our character is actually in the water. Pick a blur tool and blur the lower part a little bit, then duplicate the layer by pressing CMD and J button and select a smudge tool. I'm going to again rename the layers. And on the layer that is lower in our panel, I'm going to smudge that lower part of legs a little bit. After you've done it, lower opacity to around 60-70%. Now we're going to create a shadow of our character. Duplicate the layer, press Command and T, and by holding CMD button, you can shear the layer to the ground. Fit it to our character. And if layer appeared above main layer of our character, order it to be below our character layer. Right. Now double-click our layer to turn on Layer Style panel. Head to Color Overlay and pick the black color. Now as you can see, we can't change blending mode. What you want to do is to right-click on our layer and rasterize Layer Style. Then pick Soft Light Blending mode, lower opacity to around 40%. Head to Filter, Blur and pick Gaussian Blur. Make sure that preview option is ticked so you can see the changes you make. Increase the radius to around 9 pixels and accept it. You can lower opacity yet a little bit more. Now, select our main character layer and duplicate it. Rename our layers. The one we created before is shadow, and the one that we created now is going to be black overlay on our character. As you have it duplicated, double-click on the layer, go to Color Overlay and make it black. Accept it, rasterize our layer and turn on Clipping Mask, which basically will stick our overlay layer to our character layer. Then pick Hard Light Blending mode and lower the opacity a little bit. What I want to do here is to remove some details from our character, like the logo on the backpack and a little bit of a flag, to make everything fit together. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to create a black and white layer to give our artwork a little bit of a cinematic look by lowering opacity on the B&W layer. Do the same above the background image layer. Now create brightness contrast layer, lower the brightness to make our background darker and raise the contrast a little bit. Let's group our character layer by selecting first and last character layer and pressing a group icon. Now I'm going to create a clipping mask on our black and white layer, so it will only affect our character. Now we're going to add a smoke effect from our folder. Move it to below of our artboard and hit enter. Duplicate the layer and move it to area of legs of our character. Hit enter and move the layer to the top of our layers panel. Duplicate it a few times and select our copied layers by holding Shift and left mouse button. Group it using CMD and G button shortcut and convert it to Smart Object. Rasterize the layer and lower the opacity a little bit. Pick the rubber from toolbar panel, make it bigger by pressing Alt and left mouse button in artboard area, and remove the lower line from our smoke layer so it will blend nicely. Scale it and fit it with our first smoke layer. Add 2 more smoke layers to the lower corners of our image to create sort of smoke vignette and a few more as you see it. Now create a new layer, group our smoke layers, and select a pen tool. What you want to do here is you want to create a triangle. Press 3 times in the area that you want to create the triangle and connect it with the first anchor point. Now make shape out of our pen lines and head to Shape tool in our toolbar. Remove fill color and select a gradient on stroke. If you don't have anything in gradient, you can just head to default folder and pick black and white gradient. Now you want to adjust the thickness of our element. Then press the gradient and adjust first color. In this case we're going to pick a pale blue. Accept it and select second color. I'm going to go for pale orange. Alright, as we got our colors picked, let's transform our triangle just a little bit. By holding CMD button, you can scale different corners of transform area. I'm going to rotate it a little bit. So now, as we have our shape ready, let's play with it a little bit. open the character group and with holding CMD button, press on the layer preview area, which will create a selectin in the shape of the layer. Now by using any selectin tool and pressing right button on artboard, press select inverse. Create a new mask on our duplicated shape layer. Turn off our original shape layer by pressing I icon. And as you can see, our shape looks like it's behind our character. What we want to have here is one line of the shape to be in front of the character. Select polygonal lasso tool and create a selection where you want to have your line to appear again. Now make sure to have a mask selected in your layers panel, pick fill from toolbar and fill the selection on the mask. As you can see, the line is starting to reappear again. Press it a few times until your line will appear fully again. Duplicate the shape layer, double press the layer, and go to color overlay. Make our layer white. Accept it and lower the opacity so it will pale our colors a little bit. Duplicate the layer, double click it, and head to outer glow. Also make sure your opacity on the new layer is set to 100%. Turn off color overlay. And pick a blue color on outer glow. Raise size and spread. And as you can see, it's starting to look like a neon. Duplicate the layer and make orange glow. Rasterize both layers. And by using rubber tool, erase half of each layer so it will not mix. Now let's create a reflection of our light. Duplicate our shape layer. Create a gradient on it. And if it's in wrong order, you can reverse your gradient by ticking this option. Change the order of our layer. We're going to name it reflection and shear it. Now go blur it by using Gaussian blur filter. Pick a blending mode, in my case it's going to be lighten. And rasterize the object. You can also doing it by pressing on it with rubber and erase the reflection from the legs of our character. Enter the transform mode by using CMD and T shortcut and press this button to distort our reflection. Hold CMD and click left mouse button to create a new distortion points. Alright, create a new layer, pick an orange color and select brush tool. Draw some orange in right corner of our artwork and do the same on the left corner using blue color. Now select blending mode, it can be either overlay or soft light, both will work good. I'm going to go for soft light. Lower the opacity, and as you can see it created a cool blue and orange effect on our smoke. Now we're going to create another black and white layer to take away color a little bit. Create a new layer, fill it with color, you can pick fill tool by pressing G button. Go to filter section, head to noise and select add noise option. Make it Gaussian, monochromatic and make sure that amount is over 100%. Hit the OK button. Pick a blending mode on our noise layer and change the opacity. Let's enhance our artwork a little bit using brightness contrast. Add the galaxy layer using image from our folder. Blend it with soft light blending mode and rubber off the lower part of layer, so it won't appear on mountains and our character. Duplicate the layer and shear it to create a reflection effect of our sky. Remove galaxy from our main elements. Blur the reflection using Gaussian blur. And here we have it. Let's create a new layer and select a type tool to create a new text layer. Choose font of your pick. In my case it's going to be Montserrat, available to download on Google Fonts. Create your texts. Add a few graphic elements of your choice. I'm going to align my elements by selecting them in background layer. You can add an additional text, like a label name. So there you have it, our artwork is ready. Hope you guys liked it. Show some love by leaving a thumb up, comment and of course subscribe to never miss a new video. That's it for now, see you next time, bye.